Hey guys, Alex back for another kaiju figure review with.
Azariah.
So today we are going to be reviewing NECA's a figure from the NECA Godzilla line. It's Godzilla 84, and post down a comment below if you really love this awesome pose. So first of all, we're going to be going into history. History on Godzilla 1984. He's basically like the second Godzilla. No, he's not from 55. This was a reboot, kind of like a reboot of the Godzilla franchise, so they didn't include the Showa eras. So this is technically the second Godzilla, and he appeared in Return of Godzilla. He destroyed Tokyo, but he was buried in a volcano. We did come back as Godzilla 1990s. He did, when he came out of the volcano, he looked like this. Not sure how that transfer actually worked, but yeah. Anyway, so we're going to be reviewing the figure. So that's it for history. Now let's go on to detail and paint job. So paint job on this figure, you have this nice black color that goes charcoal black color that goes all around from head to toe to tail. You could see some aqua blue outlinings and stuff like that. And yeah, pretty much like that. That's it for the main body structure. The spikes are pretty nice. Like, the color of the spikes are very nice. They're like white, but they have some bluish, kind of greenish kind of color to the spikes, so it really makes them look pretty nice. Next, we're going to be going on to the eyes. They're white with red pupils, red brownish pupils. Inside the mouth, you have like this yellow, kind of brownish kind of teeth with kind of red tongue. And for the spikes, they're all white. And for the nails, they're kind of yellowish, bone yellowish. And then for the nails, you have like kind of like bone white nails. So that's it for paint job. Detail on this figure is very good. Some of the best detail is in the head, the chest, and the lower body and the legs. So detail is very, very good for NECA. What do you say, so Ezra?
Yeah.
So now let's go on to articulation. But first, let's go on to articulation. So the head can look a fair amount downward. It could also look up. This figure actually can look up pretty well. It looks up better. It looks in an upward position much better than most of the other figures. You could actually open or close the mouth or however many times you want, which is it's actually able to open and close its mouth easier than 94. So that's pretty good. Next, let's get into neck. So the neck can move, the head can move 360 possibly. Yeah, the head could actually move 360. The neck could possibly do the same, but I don't feel like it. Next, let's go into the arms. So the arms can move 360. It can move at the shoulder. And then you could also kind of rotate the hands a bit. Now, what's really something strange about this is that even though this figure came after 94, you cannot actually move the hands. Like, look at 94. 94, you can actually move the hands. See, you can move them in or out. But when you look at 84, which came after 94, 84 cannot actually move his hands, which is actually kind of a shame because 84 is a figure that came after the successor. So now let's go on to more articulation. So you can kind of swivel the waist a bit. You could also move the legs 360. Kind of a bit difficult, not really too much. Then you could also move the knee, kind of swivels a bit. Swivel, swivel, swivel. Then you could also move the feet, which, and if you look closely at the feet, you can tell more that there's more greenish kind of color there. And then that's it for articulation there. Then you also have some articulation of the tail. You can move it at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points at the tail. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So about 21 points of articulation. This figure actually has like lots of good articulation. It's very cool. Next, let's go into criticism that has been received by other people. Now, a lot of people do not like this figure. Let me just give out some examples. The biggest example that everyone uses, since he's such a big Godzilla fan, it's Goji Fan 1993. So since he's such a big Godzilla fan, people usually take his word. They usually trust him and all this kind of stuff because he's so popular. So he said that this figure was just bad. He did not like it at all. And personally, let me just point out some flaws to you. That's right. Would you mind point out the biggest flaw?
His nail, man. Like, look at his nail. It's longer than the other one. disgusting.
And it's like that on
But I
both
like
feet.
it. But I like it.
Really?
I like the toy itself, but I don't like the nail. Like if the guy, whoever created that, I mean, I know probably why not. Oh no, never mind. I don't know why. But yeah, his nail is bad.
Also, there's like a huge gap inside of his mouth. It looks like the lower jaw is disconnected from 84 Godzilla, which is actually pretty strange considering that 94's lower jaw is actually connected. So that's one problem. Another problem that people have with this figure are the spikes. Now, first of all, I actually like the spikes. I know the spikes aren't really super big like 94's and 2014's, but I am perfectly fine with the spikes. We can't all have the most perfect spikes. I don't think anyone will ever give us perfect spikes. I mean, I really like the spikes on 84 because they have a lot of greenish color on them. Like, just look at that nice green paint, and you can see some green on there. And I really like the paint on it. Now, here's a problem that a lot of people also have with the spikes. Now, you see, they're very thin. Now, let's just bring out 94. Now look at 94's back. 94 has spikes that are much thicker. They actually look like bone. While his 84's are just thin, like paper thin. Here's where things get even worse. When you articulate the back, if you really want to get Godzilla into motion, when you rotate it, it actually hits the spikes a bit. Like if you want to rotate him into a like that kind of pose, it actually hits the spikes. So that's really bad compared to the 94 Godzilla, where if you rotate it, it doesn't actually give you any problem with the spikes behind it. So, yeah, that's really it. Also, another complaint people have is that they think the figure looks too derpy, but personally, I am very okay with the head. Are you guys right?
Yeah, and I love the toy. I mean, it's not better than 1994, of course, because Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla NECA figure is like my favorite Godzilla reincarnation. But I do like the toy a lot.
So you heard it from Azariah. The toy is very good. So since we're done with all that, let's go to size comparison. So first part for size comparison, we're going to compare them to some pretty small figures. Let's grab out. Who says that? Let's grab Mecha Godzilla 2. Now this is bad sizing again. Mecha Godzilla 2 should be much taller than this. Taller than Godzilla, definitely, but this is a chibi, so what do you expect? Next, let's grab
Godzilla
Junior. Oh my gosh, I'm not thinking today. Louis Duran has already corrected me by saying that I said 84 in 1994 review, so you can definitely tell that I'm mixed up here. I'm not really mixed up, but my mind isn't really processing. So then we got Female Muto, the new enemy that Godzilla 2014 fought, and yeah, this is terrible size. Female Muto should be like way taller than Godzilla in 1984. Next, let's bring out Gamora. Personally, I think these two would be a pretty good fight or a pair to team up. But yeah, Godzilla 1984 should be smaller before a fight between the two. This is actually not that bad sizing. Next, let's grab out. I keep on saying that. Next, let's grab Ultra 7. Now, they're kind of like around the same size, but Ultra 7 should be smaller, but if you want to have a 2 in like a fight, then that's actually pretty good sizing. Next, let's grab the opponent that his other incarnation fought, Space Godzilla. So, let's look at Space Godzilla. Let's not make him look up, let's make him look down. So, pretty much Space Godzilla kind of has to lift up his head to look at 84 eye to eye, and this is him looking down. You see, this is him looking down. If he was just looking straight, then Space Godzilla would be pretty much looking at his neck. So Space Godzilla, again, should be like way taller, and that's not very good sizing. Next, let's bring out 94 Godzilla. His basically him in the future. Well, 94 Godzilla is technically like an alternate version because 84 was erased, but whatever. Anyway, so let's make him look up. So this is actually pretty alright sizing. I believe 94 should be a bit bigger. It should be like here, but otherwise this is actually pretty alright sizing. Next, let's grab a form of 84. Technically, yeah, form of 84. It's Burning Godzilla from Bandai Creations. So let's grab him, and there we have on Godzilla 1995 compared to Godzilla 1984. This is not very good sizing. Again, Burning Godzilla should be like probably like up here, but because 84 is like pretty small. Next, let's bring out Godzilla 2000. Now, the two actually kind of look eye to forehead. Of course, 2000 should be much smaller than this, but for a fight, this is actually pretty good sizing. I mean, personally, I think that 84 should be much taller than this, but you know, for a fight, it's not too bad. Okay, so now we're going into the Pacific Rim line. So we're actually grabbing Gypsy Danger. So here's Gypsy Danger compared to 84. It's getting a little bit windy. Sorry, guys. So this actually might be pretty good sizing. They're both around the 200-foot range. Now, how big Gypsy is supposed to be, I kind of forgot. And how big Godzilla 84 was supposed to be, I kind of forgot too. But this is actually not bad sizing. I think Godzilla should be a bit bigger, but you know, we can't all be winners. Next, let's bring out Knifehead. So Knifehead is actually bigger than Godzilla 84. This is actually pretty good sizing because Knifehead is like much bigger than 84 in terms of sizing. Next, last but not least, we're gonna bring out the behemoth, Stunner. So let me just grab Stunner real quick. And here is Stunner compared to Godzilla 84. Like I said before, with almost every other figure, Stunner should be much bigger, like probably right here or something compared to 84. But you know, 84, for a fight, 84 is actually in pretty good scale. So that's basically it for sizing. Hopefully that sizing section gave you a general idea of how big 84 is. And now, time to get to the next part of the review. Should you get this figure or not? So, let's look at this. That's right. Do you think people should get this figure?
Yes.
Do you have any problems with it?
No. Except for that nail, but no.
Okay, now it's time to go over my thoughts. So, I think you should get this figure. I mean, it's Godzilla 1984. You cannot find 84 really anywhere. The only companies that really made him are X Plus and Bandai. And I mean Bandai Japan, not Bandai Creation. So you won't be able to find it in America. And here's the thing. The figures are being sold at very, very high prices. So why would you buy an 84 figure for like, I don't know, like $70 or $100 or $300 when you could just get NECA's version with lots of articulation and pretty good detail for only $20? Now, I know there are some people who really like X Plus and Bandai Memorial Box, and I respect those people. But for the general audience who does not have a lot of money like those admirable fans do, then I recommend getting the 84 figure. Now, sure, like I said before, it has its flaws. The spikes are a bit small, but I can forgive the spikes because I really like the spikes. Even though they're small, I still forgive them. Even though the figure has the toenail, I still like them. And even though there's that huge gap inside of a mouth, it's still forgivable. So now it's time to go over my final rating. So my final rating on this figure is a 9.5 out of 10. Like I said before, it did not get a perfect 10 or even near it. Actually, I'll give it a 9.4. Like I said, the figure does have its flaws, but it's still in the 9 range because I truly love it. So, what are your thoughts, Desiree?
My rating is 9.6 because the toenail, I don't really care because who's gonna look at the toenail unless you're doing like one of those things where you're aiming the camera at the foot and then going up. Then someone will notice. But if you're just like having a toy battle or like just playing with it normally, like how imagination always works if you don't care about that toenail. And yeah, I like the head too.
I might actually give it a better rating, maybe a 9.7 too, because this figure just looks so good. I mean, just look at the head. I actually will give it a 9.7 out of 10 because here's the reason why. When 84 first started out, it looked terrible. It looked like Gamora. It looked like Red King, Godzilla 1967, and Gabra all combined into one imperfect life form. Yes, I said imperfect, not perfect. Not perfect, not perfect. Anyway, so, yeah, that's what it looked like. But now, since the fact that they made the spikes actual colors, they changed Godzilla's color to black, and they actually resculpted the head. I can't be too angry at it. So, yeah. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. I'm kind of very mixed on this because of the flaws. Because 94, he had only one flaw really with him, and that was the skinless, and that was the not so thick jaw. which 84 actually fixed that problem, but they have the gap. You see, there's always a problem. We can't all be winners. And like I say, no figure's perfect. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. Stay tuned for more reviews. I think Gypsy Danger might be next. The wind is coming in. So thank you guys for watching, and bye.